And hello and welcome to the Villains Talk Show. I am C4. To my right is Sara Vike. Below me is the Great Grease Goblin, and kitty corner to me is Sir Jeremy, and we are your hosts of the Villains Talk Show, where we just talk about random things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah.
Today's topics, we have 3. Unfortunately, I only had room for 2 because I am not technically savvy. And anyone who's been actually watching this stuff for the long time will know that I am not technically savvy. So
you also can't spell, and it's very annoying.
I can spell fine.
You misspelled on the thing again, John.
He misspells things all the time, and it drives me insane.
What did I misspell? Intelligence?
You misspelled D.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Where?
John!
Yeah, and da.
What? Where are we looking?
That chat.
Oh, the chat. I did that purposely.
Not cool.
Anyway.
But you did misspell intelligence.
No, I didn't. Anyway, today's topics are, we're going to talk quickly on COVID cure. Seems to be talk of the town. I keep hearing different things about it. And then the main topics today are twofold. First one is side quests. Basically in games, literature, and in most stories, there are side quests, and basically importance to less importance. I tend to be, or like just, essentially, is it like, because sometimes you go to side quests and they're just filler, like horrible filler. I can think of 1,000 games where it's just fetch quests over and over and over again, or in books where a side quest is they have to go and defeat this secondary villain really quickly, and it has nothing to do with it, and it just feels like filler. And then the second topic, which I'm more excited for, is intelligence versus wit. In developing a lot of games and stories and stuff like that, you get a real bleed, and not a good one. There's many people who mistake intelligence for wit. A lot of people who mistake wit for intelligence. And they are not the same thing, especially when you're writing a character. It is really baffling when I see a character that's supposed to be extremely smart, and then all of a sudden they're under stress and they make a horrible decision, which doesn't make sense, because someone who is usually at that level or doing the critical thinking like the narrative suggests in whatever it is, they're usually under high levels of stress already, so they usually can deal with stress a bit better. So to think of like horror movies is the best way. You have characters that are more like they sacrifice their intelligence for how do I say it? They look at it like, oh, you're super smart, but then all of a sudden you don't have very good street smarts, and that's incorrect. They're both very much related. What you're looking at is you want to know how quick-witted someone can be, how they can deal with a complicated problem in a quick time, and that would be that's a better try. I think the best example of that would be the original Saw movie. The idea that the villain was actually not intelligent, but it had a lot of wit to it. And I'll go into that later. But let's just stick with the topic number 1. COVID cure. Obviously we all heard it's 2 shots. Awesome. But I heard, and please anyone tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I heard like the second shot makes your face numb.
That sounds wrong.
Yeah, someone was telling me that they're like, okay, so I heard it from a source that was reading it from a source. They told me they were watching the news and they heard that the second booster shot makes your face numb for a day. and I haven't had time to look it up myself, but I wanted to pose it to everyone before I actually looked it up and see if anyone else has heard that. Because that's hilarious.
I have not.
I have not either.
But
you
if
just said you have.
I'm looking it up right now.
If you're just getting a numb face, that's not too bad.
It's better than pneumonia and death.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wrote a COVID numb face, and I think that was the worst thing I could have put in.
No, that's what you get when you're alone too long.
Symptoms. COVID cure. Numb
vaccine?
face.
Cure and vaccine aren't the same thing.
Vaccine. There you go. Vaccine numb face. COVID vaccine numb face. I can't believe. Blah 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 blah. A lot of influenza. Stat news. Oh, here we go. Harvard Health. The vaccine is known to cause a tingling or numbness in the hands and feet, dizziness, confusion, delirium, and possible seizures or strokes. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right.
What?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm seeing that meme. That meme didn't make sense before, but the meme about the vaccine that's going around right now is like everybody in like 2040 is going to see the message. If you took the vaccine in 2020 and 2021, your rights to receive compensation.
Bam.
That's a side effect to almost everything, though. Like,
everyone needs to read that. That's a fucking amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Well, that was fun. I'm glad I looked that up. That answered a lot of questions.
And gross.
Like, the side effects of birth control are worse than that, and that's something that a lot of women deal with literally constantly. So,
how many anti-vaxxers are not going to get the fucking goddamn...
All of them?
Oh.
Yeah.
They're against vaccines, John.
But do you think they're going to be forced to?
They might have to be.
I'm pretty sure that they cannot be forced to.
No.
Like, just legally. The government cannot force us to do vaccine, but they can make it really difficult for us to do things without it.
What do you mean by
like
us,
they can't
Sarah?
make a law that says you have to get. Just a general term, John.
Good. I was scared for a second there. My heart.
You happy?
Oh, thank God. I was going to say, are we going to have a whole discussion on anti-vaxxing?
No.
I mean, we could.
Why?
Because the healing properties of crystals are amazing.
Oh my goodness. Please no.
Except I knew that was funny.
I think it's hilarious that you say that with a plethora of swords.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Let's cut you with one of them and then shove a crystal in it and see what happens.
It should work perfectly fine. That would stop the bleeding by covering the impact wound.
Would it? It all depends on the size of the crystal and the size of the wound. I'm sure we can make it so that it doesn't. Or we can make the crystal bigger than the wound.
That's pressure.
Really fucked up sci-fi movie already. Jam this crystal in.
Takes
Takes over your brain.
You have to follow the crystal.
Follow the way of the light. Be one of the enlightened. Add this crystal to your wounds.
Exactly.
Okay, but in reality, how long do you think we're even going to get the vaccine? As young,
I heard 80 plus
20,
are the first ones to get it.
No, it's frontline workers, then 80 plus.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard something about teachers?
Yeah, aren't there some coming like this week?
Did anyone hear anything about teachers? Like the teachers
I haven't
union?
heard anything about that.
Nope.
I heard the teachers union was lobbying to get.
I haven't heard anything about that, and I would expect to. Oh, I would believe that. They're crazy.
They're crazy. They are a teachers union. I mean,
yeah, they're trying.
The Alberta Teachers Association, they've got some great things going though.
I'm scared of
a little crazy.
anything that resembles a mob. Yes, take a long drink for that. No. So yeah, I heard teachers were lobbying for it, but it's going to be old people and frontline workers first, eh?
Yeah. Frontline workers, then old people, and then it'll start trickling down a bit, allegedly.
It'll be a while
Is
before.
perforizer
young people
because it's
get it.
perforizer, right? Or PF, however you fucking pronounce
Pfizer.
it.
Shiz-
Something like that.
Frizer or whatever. I think it's Frizer. Anyway,
Yeah.
are they being paid for this?
I believe the research money was provided for them, yes.
No, I mean like for the vaccines themselves. Well, yeah, I know about the Global Collective to put money forward for research. Anything that was research. And I know it was centered around Pfizer because they had the biggest breakthroughs. So they, like,
Yeah.
I remember hearing about how a bunch of scientists were going to their labs to help them work together, and there was a huge funding pool to help the scientists. I know that. But I'm talking about the actual vaccines that they're rolling out. Do you know if they're being paid for that?
I do not. I think there was pre-ordered though, from most.
Oh, I wonder if that's how they
the U.S.
spin it.
actually refused to pay for the pre-order.
I wonder if that's how they spin it, by offering them money to do the research, that they counted that as a pre-order. Or are they actually paying more money on top
No,
of
they're
that?
paying more on top of that from what I saw.
Oh, good. So the guy who owns Perforizer is going to make trillions.
Yes.
Probably.
Well,
Because
I mean, that's going to drive all the conspiracy theorists nuts. They're all of a sudden, there's their smoking gun. See? He was the reason all this happened. He now controls the world.
he caused it.
He controls the world with all his money.
No, the smoking gun they're all using right now is still Bill Gates.
Yeah.
What?
Weird. Where did that even come from?
He's
Bill
like
Gates Bill Gates patented the virus, or patented the cure for the virus about 6 months before it got huge.
What?
Yeah, that's a thing.
They're going to microchip
I want
us, man.
proof. No, I want proof. Because Bill Gates and Martha Gates are like the nicest multi-billionaires on the planet. They have so many charities, and they've given away so much money. Just that's
Gotten a nice.
I mean,
tax cut for
that would be
too.
perfect. That would be the perfect ultimate, like, supervillain scheme to keep people off your back. Just keep throwing your money away to charities so no one fucking cares. But I still want proof. I want to see a link or something. I think I deserve that. That's nuts. That's just nuts. Bill Gates patents. I can't remember fucking looking this up. Patents. Cure.
Yeah, it's from there. What do they call that company? Perbrite? They own a virus-funded company. You do know that, right?
They own a virus?
Or like an anti-vax company, or a vaccine company that research on viruses. Bill Gates and his wife.
So I got...
Website Humans Are Free claims a British Research Institute has patented the virus. The article also asserts that the institute is funded by billionaire Bill Gates, and CDC also retains a patent on the virus's genome. Believe it or not, a coronavirus strain is patented by the Perbrite Institute, fully funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that gives money to sick and needy kids.
No, it's called the Perbrite Institute.
I'm looking at here.
From what
I mean,
I'm
this is
seeing,
USA Today.
The links I'm seeing are for Screen Rant, USA Today, and American Truth Today.
That's the one we need to listen to. American Truth.
Yeah, right.
They tell you nothing but
Definitely
the truth.
not Screen Rant.
There's yeah, of course. You know, bunch of lies. USA Today. That's like the tabloids, isn't it?
It is.
Of all the
Boy.
newspapers I will never believe in my life, I will never believe a newspaper that has truth as part of its name.
But they're clearly telling the truth.
Yeah.
Exactly, Sarah. Yeah. Okay. Yep, they are 100% truth tellers.
Yeah. What else would they be?
Anyway, so how long? And everyone keeps thinking the vaccines are going to come out in January.
They
Well,
are.
some are coming now.
Are they
Yeah.
actually?
They're
Not
coming
to the
now.
general public.
Not until I think March or something for general public.
So okay, that makes sense. And then there, oh man, you guys ever seen that horrible movie Sausage Party?
It was a
I
great
did
movie.
not. It sounded horrible.
Well, I kind of imagine that's what April's gonna look like.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Wait, which part? The talking food
Generally
or
horrible.
you know which part.
you're talking about the end?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't think I do want to, so we're good.
Yeah, we'll just it's a certain part of that movie that thank God Sarah will never watch. So
I mean, it wasn't bad.
yes, it
It
was.
was stupid.
It was an hour and a half dick
It
jokes.
was so
yeah,
terrible.
exactly.
It was
Stupid.
so bad. It wasn't just dick jokes. It was so racist. It was the worst.
Oh yeah,
But it was racist to everyone. So you couldn't.
exactly.
Everyone. Oh, it was.
So no one could complain because,
Yeah, everyone
Everyone-
got shat on.
well then.
That being said, so we're waiting for March. Okay, sounds cool. Well, now with the update done, let's move on to the main topics. Jeremy, would you want to start with side quests first or intelligence versus wit?
I want to start. All right. Choose your destiny.
Will you take the red pill or the red pill?
I don't know. You just grab one out of both his hands and then you just take them both.
Yeah, right? Purple.
At the same time. I want to be in and out of the
Purple.
Matrix.
So right, like I'm getting out, but I also wake up in my bed like nothing happened.
That's the way to do it.
Side quest, I guess. Side quest for 500, Trebek?
Side quest for 500. Well, let's stick with you for a bit then. Mr. Master of Games, God of the local D&D, as in like friends D&D sessions. What do you do for side quests? Do you enable side? First of all, let's start with the basics. Like, do you actually set up side quests in your games that you homebrew, or are they something that come naturally, or do you actually put a lot of forethought into them?
That's about 50-50. Stuff like, I guess we call it the green door, was completely planned, but never utilized.
We've
what-
done about that, haven't we?
What do you mean by
But
planned?
then, what do you mean? I've had that. That was like one of the first side quests I've had
Mhm.
since I wrote the game at the start.
So-
I had like a handful of things that you guys could do, and there's a couple. Most of them we've done.
Well,
but-
The Goblin City?
Yeah, Goblin City was a big one.
Druid camp.
Drew Camp was another side quest. You guys ended up, and then you guys started coming up with your own tangents.
well, that's
I
really what
want
I
an
want to get into.
ostrich.
That's really what I want to get into because you build such an expansive world, and it's hard for us when we're playing it to know what a side quest is and what a side quest actually comes into. But or what is a side quest or what is a main story quest. But you obviously have an idea of what's what. But when you make that decision, like, you don't have to tell me the detail, but like what forethought do you put in terms of detail? Like how do you lay out what will be a side quest and what will be a boon for that and what will make it actually worth it? Even if your players don't ever do it, how much of it do you actually put, how much of your effort do you actually put into it beforehand? And then you said it's 50-50, so I imagine that there's some that just come more naturally, which are easier to build upon because you know there's going to be a pursuit there. But what about the ones that don't get used?
I never like erase or forget about anything. I keep it all noted down because you can use it again.
I've noticed. But
you guys can always come back to it later. It helps the world feel more expansive and like large.
But how much detail did you put in? So like when a side quest, when you introduce a side quest, do you have the entire instance, I were to say, or the entire dungeon basically laid out, or what's going to happen, or is that something that you just kind of do as it goes? You have kind of a structure that you're going to follow, and you see how it kind of fits together.
Yeah, probably. A little bit. Like I said, it's a little bit of both. Because like I said, I have my own developed large world, but then you guys decide you're going to go to other places, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, stuff like I said, the Green Door, the Undead City, the Goblin City, most of the Backfire encounters, all that stuff's pre-planned. Going to the Druids, that was not really my plan. A lot of what Jan does.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So sticking with kind of the detail aspect, like I know you basically draw on an expansive world, but when you set up a side quest, how do you color it so it's interesting? Like, is it something that just comes naturally to you? Is it something that you actually like? Because I've DM'd quite a bit, and something I've never been good at, we'll say. Like I'm a writer, right? So it's easy to write side quests because it all ties together. That's the beauty of being a writer, making everything tighten to a nice, neat package, and it all falls together. But something as a DM, and if my players could attest, is I'm very linear. I kind of pull everyone along the track, and if they do side quests, it all essentially just builds into the main narrative. So like I allow for little things here and there, but I don't allow for that level of detracting. So it's very interesting to me being able to build, that idea, an entire side area of a game, and have it essentially be a side quest and give it to the same level, make everyone be engaged into it as much as if it were part of the main story.
Actually, you know what? One of my biggest secrets, and I'm such a big gamer, is like, do you remember any really cool quests you've ever done in games?
Yes.
Or stuff you've seen in movies? Incorporate it. Plagiarism is one of the, what do they say? Copying someone is like one of the best forms of compliment.
Imitation is
flattery.
Yeah, there we go.
Most sincere form of compliment.
Right, and in D&D especially so. You see those like extreme moments, and like last night was something I've been planning for a little while too, or not last night, Friday. It was something I've been planning for a little while too. Everything except for like Caden, right? That was a side quest, and I try to tailor at least one side quest to everybody. And then it also helps make the world feel a little bit more engaging and open. Because everybody has their own thing to do outside of the group. They feel more of an individual as well as the collective.
And I see that could be maybe even a bit easier because you can draw your inspiration from the way people are playing around you. But
oh yeah, absolutely. You have to learn your players. Like, that is a secret.
I see what you mean. Because like I said, it's hard for me to do that kind of thing. Let's open the table. Sarah or Caden?
Yeah, about it because of the same thing you talked about, where as a writer, the side quests are part of the plan. They're part of the story. So if something seems like it's a side quest, it has a reason for being there.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard. It's hard to write the idea of a side quest. And it's funny because your immediate thought is, oh, that doesn't happen in literature. But I can think of a few stories where there's actually like a side quest that doesn't really. It is exactly that. Like, I had one. The worst for it on the other end of the spectrum is Lord of the Rings. Everything builds together. I mean, it's why it's such a good book. Dune. I'm thinking of Dune. And the side quest I'm thinking of is, if you know the Dune series, Duncan, when you first meet him.
Oh yeah.
Duncan's basically an ancillary character. And you don't pay attention to him at all, and then he dies, and you're like, oh, okay. And then it turns out he's literally the most important character in all of Dune. And none of that preceding that had anything to do with leading to him being the most important character. He just happened to be the best friend of the God Emperor of the galaxy. If you haven't read Dune, I'm sorry. You should
it's pretty old now, so like
you should probably read the books.
That's your fault.
Did you hear about it actually getting canceled now?
What? No.
For the movie.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
I didn't read it because I didn't care enough, but I saw earlier that it said it was canceled.
So say if you repeat yourself, I'm going to kill the messenger. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's be fair.
No.
Let's be fair. The original movie that was made is still fucking fantastic.
The movie or the 3-part miniseries?
Both?
The movie was terrible. The 3-part miniseries is great. That movie is so bad. What? I have it on DVD too. That movie is so bad.
But it's so accurate to the actual book.
No, the Frank Herbert's one is way better. The 3-part miniseries.
Yeah, the 3-part series. Oh yeah, because you can't get. I mean, that's one of the best.
It's 3 hours. Each part is 3 hours.
If you're asking
right?
which one's better, I will agree with you. The 3-part miniseries is way better.
Well, it's the same thing they did with fucking Star Wars, right? Trying to climb. I think it was Star Wars. Yeah, trying to grab. Or no, sorry, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings 3 movies were so good because they actually took the time to do one movie per book.
But
whereas The Hobbit, they tried to jam all of that shit into this tiny little movie.
Jeremy, you just reminded me of the worst example of a side quest I have ever seen in anything, like specifically in a story, but not a book, a movie. This movie, Last Jedi. When they're given the quest by what's her name, Maz Kanata, to go find like the master or whatever on the casino planet. Oh.
What is Oh, we were gonna get to movies. Don't worry, I was just talking about stories and games right now. But the ultimate shitter of side quests and important realities, we got movies.